Yes, we are. So you guys can watch this later. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everybody who's watching us. This is me. I'm here with Renan, Camila, Isabel, and also Erika. And today we are about to discover how our phone are making us sad. So before we start the conversation and finally discuss this, I am going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves and just make a to make an advice for you. So today we're five, which means we have five people to talk. And please be quick, but you don't need to say, "Oh, I agree with it," and that's okay. But let's try to be more, I don't know, to respect the time of the immersion and let the other talk. And then, I mean, you guys can keep calm. I know you guys know it, but I'm just making sure that everything goes pretty well. So I am going to ask Henan to introduce himself since it's his second time in here on TNT. But tell us something about you, Henan. What do you like to do? Why are you here?
So I am Renan. I have I am seven 27 years old. I work with digital marketing, and I'm here to improve my ability to communicate in English because uh, still my English in write and reading is good, but when I go to uh, daily work with my clients in United States, my English is so bad and I need to improve.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction, Hannah. And I hope everything goes well. You are in the right place to develop your ability to talk and to expose ideas and to actually, talk in English. So I wish you the best. And now you, Camila, tell us something about you.
Hello, guys. My name is Camila. I am 39 years old. I live in São Paulo. I work as an accountant in an energy company. I am here on Talk and Talk since April, and I discovered through LinkedIn. I am here to practice my English. I know a little bit about Spanish, but I never had the opportunity to enjoy immersion in Spanish. Maybe in the future. But now I would like to practice my English conversation. And in my free time, I love to read. I go to the gym sometime. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Camila. You
Thank
can
you.
try, the future can be tomorrow, the future can be
Yes,
Saturday.
sure.
I miss so much talking with the guys of Spanish. They're so adorable, and I hope you can go there one day.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, Erika, who are
Good
you? What do you like
evening.
to do?
As I can see, I'm Erika. I live in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. Here, I work as a dietitian in some public schools. And in my free time, I love cooking, reading, and sometimes practicing physical exercise. So I have been here in Talk for 1 month. And like everyone, I'm here in order to improve my English conversation to get more confidence to speak English with others. How about you, Isabel?
Okay, so my name is Isabel. I'm 23 years old and I live in Florianópolis. I'm born here as well. I am a graphic designer, but I work with UX and UI too. And I am in Talk since January of the last year. And I am here to practice English for work and for travel in the future. That's it.
Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you so much for your introduction. Now let's finally start the conversation. Everyone knows how TNT works. So, question number one, are smartphones making people sad? I mean, in the video, we could see that it is making people sad. but I want you guys to answer why, if you agree, or why not, if you disagree. In my case, I think it does make people sad because, I mean, I love my phone. I can't so like anything bad about it. I just love my phone and the things that I can do with my phone. And it's amazing. But I know that sometimes it makes me sad. It makes me addicted. It makes me feel that I have nothing to do without it. I mean, I can't have fun without my phone, and that's my feeling. But what's your opinion, Isabel? Do you think, uh, I mean, some way they're not making us sad?
Yeah, it's difficult to think about it, but I agree actually. It depends of the you use the cell phone can make you sad. And I believe the things that we saw in the social medias and other stuffs like that involves you in the way that you have connecting with something that influence you to have some bad thoughts, for example, or bad feelings. So it's kind of a danger in this if we think about that. But I really don't know a way that you continue to use a cell phone and don't be so sad or don't be so addicted. It's a challenge actually. I'm passing with this challenge nowadays. I don't know if I am addicted, but I'm trying to think about ways that I can don't use too much cell phone, for example.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Isabel. What
Okay.
about you, Erika? Do you feel sad with your phone?
From my point of view, smartphones aren't able to make people sad. I believe that make people sad is to stay long time using social media to comparison your life with others. But if you use the smartphones for working, for studying, if you know how to balance the time that you spend in smartphones and the time that you enjoy your life is the better thing to do. I believe it's not about smartphones, but what you do when you get the smartphones in your hands. How about you, Renan?
I think the same. When people spend your time comparison your life with another people, this make a a mix of imagination, imaginations, mais ou menos, and a little will be the mind think bad things and become sad and sick. True.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think Erika brought such an interesting answer, but still, I mean, how can we avoid it? It's so hard. What do you think, Camila?
I agree that the smartphones make people sad, but for sure, I don't know how to answer that question because I am always doing something like I'm working and checking my phone just to put a song, for example. But it sounds like a excuse sometimes, or just if you are waiting someone, you are looking at your cell phone. So we are not able to be uh, about ourselves doing nothing. We are always checking our cell phone. And I get this is related to dopamine, I guess. And I believe we could be sad regarding this bomb of dopamine every time. So it's only a, I don't know how to say that, a shoot, because I believe that's the connection, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So let's go to question number two, that is more specifically, What is one positive and one negative impact that smartphones have had in your life? So, do you want to start, Camila?
Yes, positive that you can have almost like a personal computer in your hand. So if I am struggling with some problems in my computer, I can use my cell phone sometimes at work. If I'm able to do it, to enjoy in a meeting, I can use my cell phone, for example. And I guess the negative impact is that we are changing people from the smartphones, in my opinion. We are, I don't know how to say this, preferindo be with the smartphone instead of looking in the eyes for another person. So I guess this is the worst thing for me. I hate when I go to a place and then I am talking with someone and that person was like, so I hate these kind of things. So I guess this is the negative topic for me.
Yes. At first, I felt like, oh, this is me, but I don't like to do it in front of people. But I would rather stay at home watching a movie or something like that instead of go out. But when I'm out, I'm actually looking to people and answering them and trying to be there for them and trying to listen, to look at in their eyes. So that's not me, hopefully. But that's right. In my case, I say all the time, I would rather stay at home and do things with my phone, like watch a movie or maybe do something different. But a good thing is, I mean, the tools that we have in our phone, it's so amazing. Like this one, it's called, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know, you can see it, but this is for bus, which means if I wanna go out of my work, like in 5 minutes, I can see the exact time of the bus and see where the bus is, and then I'll be there just in the right time to take the bus. So for poor people, that's so amazing and so, I mean, good. And actually having access to movies as well, because I can afford going to the cinema all the time. And one second thing is studying with the phone. I mean, you can be everywhere and you can just click on a PDF or a video. You can get a lot of knowledge from that, which means, I mean, that's really great for me. Being able to learn to do whatever you want with your phone. But at the same time, whatever can be something really dangerous. Yeah. So, Hannah, what's your opinion about this question? Do you have a positive and negative thing to share?
I believe it is more positive than negative, because with cell phone you have much tools in your hand to study, to learn, and communication and access of information. So in negative terms, I believe the when you use very much the cell phone, you can develop uh, distractions, reduce face interaction, like Camila said. Is it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. Isabel, what about you?
Well, about positive and negative impact, I agree with Erica said before that depends of you use the cell phone can be helpful to you or not. So I believe, for example, positives ways something similar with that Erica said about study, or even find someone that you don't see a very long time ago, for example, social media, and then you chat with this person, for example, find some information about a topic or learning. But in this negative points, the another way I believe is something like you use a lot social media and then you just think about that and you're starting to have some bad thoughts and bad feelings about that. If you are addicted and something like that. And another thing that I think nowadays happened with me, for example, I use social media and internet to learn a lot, but sometimes I saw an opinion about something and then I become a little bit confused. So I need to filter the things that I saw and then search more and study more this topic to don't be such confused, for example. So it's a challenge. Nowadays, I can figure out another ways to don't become so confused and learn the right thing, for example. But I believe this behavior needs to be more universal, for example, so we can don't consider that a negative point, for example.
Yeah, that's right. Erica, finally you.
Yes. Um, I think smartphone is the most important example of technology nowadays. Because when you think internet, okay, in the past you can use the big computer, but the smartphone, like Camila said, is our personal computer. I can send emails. Smartphone has calculator, watch, camera, video. You can do everything using your smartphone. I can manage my bank account in your smartphone. Is a good thing, is a positive aspect of the smartphone. By the way, like other people said, I think you are losing the ability to socialize face to face. Because here I feel more comfortable because I'm in a platform, so I can talk with everyone in everywhere in this world. But then you get to face, I think, oh my God, what I should say now. I don't know how to manage this type of relationship where you get face to face. So I think the smartphone, not the smartphone itself, but using too much smartphone make us so sad in perspective. And the internet, like Isabel said, there are too much information. So the majority of time I can't filter which information is good to me to read, to process in my mind. So it's hard. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Erica, for your answer. Uh, Next question. At what age did you get your own smartphone or tablet with internet access that you could carry with you? If you could go back in time, would you delay getting your first smartphone? Why or why not? So we have three questions in here. Yeah, Isabel, could you start? I think you're ready.
Okay, well, I try to remember that. I just remember, for example, computer, more certain in my mind that I started to use that when I have like 12 years old, I think 11 years old. But I just use to play games. I really loved, I don't know if you guys know Stardoll. It's a game that, no, but I really loved that. So another websites that have some kind of games. And when I become more old, but in the same way teenager, I started to use some social medias like Messenger to talk with my friends, but just in computer. And about smartphone, I believe it was when I was, my God, maybe 15 years old, 16 years old, something like that. And if I could go back in time, I really don't know if I ask for delay that these had cell phone, but probably the use of social media, I believe. But my parents always try to protect me the same way, but it's difficult for them because they didn't know what is social media. So they in the same times try to protect, but then give to me to use. But I didn't do anything wrong. I don't remember actually, but probably I would ask to don't use social media too early.
Yeah. Thank you, Isabel. And Erica, finally you.
I don't remember the exact time, but because my father, my parents gave me and my sister a cell phone, not smartphone, and later, I think my grandma gave us the smartphone with internet, like everyone know today. But I wouldn't like to delay the my first smartphone because I don't remember to use too much smartphone in the past. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not from the big city. I live in Belo Horizonte now, but my hometown is so small, so that it's not common for people to stay spend much time in the house. All people go on in the street to talking, to visit other people, go to church. So for me, I have no problem. Is the my first smartphone. How about you, Camila?
Guys, I cannot remember for sure the age for my first cell phone or a smartphone. I cannot remember, but I remember in my first job, I remember that I was talking about the WhatsApp app, and I was like, "Oh, I don't need it. Thank you, but I don't need it. I prefer to use the text message." And nowadays, I was like, "Oh my gosh, how crazy this was!" Right? I prefer to use the text message without using WhatsApp because I was thinking about my data, my plan about the internet. So I was like, oh, I don't need to spend my data with this. So I prefer to use text messenger, but I cannot remember the year, for example, maybe 2010, maybe something like this. I cannot remember for sure. And about the delay, I don't think in my case was a problem because I was the time about MSN or code. So I was almost like a teenager or adult. So I don't think it was a problem for me, but I can see the kids today struggling with these difficulties nowadays. It's really hard, but in my case was not a problem. And
Yeah.
you, Hannah, have you ever answered that question?
I I get my first smartphone when I was 11 years old. But I don't use it through social media or uh, another things. In my in this date, I spend my time with Xbox, and so I don't make bad use of smartphone.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And I mean, I think I'm just like Erica because I'm from a small town, which means, I mean, I got my smartphone at the age of 11, I guess, just like Hannah. But at first, we didn't have Wi-Fi at home, and the smartphone wasn't really smart because it didn't had space to put the things. I could just download WhatsApp or Facebook. I had to choose for one of them sometimes, and it was so bad. And I didn't have internet connection a lot of times, so I wouldn't be there really doing anything. I would rather play, and I didn't like games too, and didn't have a computer or any game on any online or digital games, so I wouldn't mess with internet. I would do something like go out and play with the trees and do something else, not related to technology. but I don't regret getting it at the age of 11 because I was really conscious about everything. And I mean, I think it's necessary nowadays. You have to learn how to use it. But I think I would delay it as well, being on social media because I did some offending people. But I mean, posting things that wasn't really, I don't know, it didn't make sense nowadays. I regret it so much. It's so embarrassing. But I was just a kid and I was trying to have the profile of someone that was there. I was trying to mirror myself and the people that I think they were doing right in social media. Yeah, I think I've answered the question. I wouldn't delay it. I think a computer, I would like to have learned this because when I got my first computer, I didn't know very much how to use it, and I didn't know things that people nowadays know. I've learned it, but it was so hard. I mean, I couldn't use anything, and even nowadays, I don't like to play games or use something with my computer. I started to watch online movies in 2018, I guess, because I didn't know I could access all of it. I've watched my first TV show when I was 15, and now I'm 22. I mean, I didn't know how to use it actually. So for me, it was a surprise. So let's go to the next question. Mm, if you didn't have to work or socialize using your phone and do everything related to life, like accessing things, searching for things, could you live without it? That's so bad, but could you live without it, Attica? Would you give up using technology and your phone forever?
Yeah, sure, I could. Um, I think uh, I don't know how I can live without a smartphone, but yes, I could. I People has this opinion. Oh my gosh, now I have a smartphone, I can't live without it. I now I have a car, I can't live without it. But in the past, you didn't have a smartphone, and I think, of course, the time to send a message, you spend more time to share some information. I know that. But when I think about my job, the work, sometimes so annoying because you don't have time to relax your mind. It's 8 p.m. and people are sending you a message about tomorrow you should do something about your job. So I think the smartphone is another negative aspect of the use smartphone, because you don't have time to enjoy yourself, your family, because all the time you should to connect to respond someone, because everyone know people all the time is online, people all the time is available. For me, I could live without my smartphone. How about you, Isabel?
Well, didn't consider work. I believe yes, but just without like Instagram and Facebook. I don't use more Instagram. But about WhatsApp is difficult because I believe that nowadays I need it just because, for example, my parents use, and other friends use. So it's the way that we have nowadays to talk with another people. So I believe it's necessary. But without Instagram, yes, I believe I could live without it.
Okay, okay. I couldn't, honestly. I have everything in here. I wouldn't give up my phone. I wouldn't throw it to live in society. There's so many good things that I could do with it that I mean, just leave. Because I live far from my family, and now I am in a big town. So How can I be in nature? How can I see my friends if they live so far? How can I walk at the night? People can steal my hair because it's really dangerous sometimes. And how could I mean, interact and talk to people and then solve things and access my movies. Sometimes, eventually, just in the last option, watch things for free using this without having to pay for Netflix or Disney Plus or HBO or the many platforms that we have. It's so expensive. And right now, I'm just on Prime Video, but I'm starting to regret it because nothing seems interesting for me. But I mean, that's my answer. And now, what about you? Could you live without your phone? Be honest. I can be the only one who couldn't. Hannah, are you there? Yes. Could you live
Yes, yes,
without your
yes.
phone?
Yeah. I would like to say yes, but in this era, I believe it's impossible. It is impossible because all things is connected with for internet, and the cell phone is essential to my work, to my life, and I believe that things are for all people in this world.
Yeah, that's right. Things are for all people. That's right. Camila, what's your opinion? I mean, you answered the question. You didn't,
No, not
right?
yet. No.
Okay.
I guess I could, but without social media, that's okay for me, any problem. But I guess WhatsApp could be that something important nowadays, just to have a communication with some friends or family in general. But I could live without the cell phone just for this specific situation, like social media and other things. I could use like a cell phone for real, the raiz, the only to listen music and talk with the other. But I think this is not a problem for me.
Oh, that's right. So me and Hannah, we couldn't, but Erica, Camila, and Isabel, they could live without it, which means girls are more adapted to nature. If we lost everything, technology, you could live, men would die because we are bad, we are weak. And let's go to question number 6. Okay, let's escape question number 5. I think this is more interesting. In a academic research, many people who were interviewed talked about the benefits of handling conflict or difficult emotional issues online. They said that they could be more careful with their responses and help decrease interpersonal tensions. That seems like a good thing. Is there any problem with it? And with this question, I want you guys to answer as well. If you guys are like this, if you can handle things better using your phone through text messages or through an audio, for an example. Uh, Starting by you, Camila, could you?
Yes, I don't think this is for me because in the pandemic time, I was doing a therapy in person, and I need to change for online sessions, and that was terrible for me. I guess because I was living in a place with other person, and I was like something that I could say and they could listen, so I was not so not so comfortable with the situation. So I prefer nowadays do it in person. And I don't know why people feel like online so good to talk. I don't know. I cannot understand why. Maybe because you don't need to look at the eyes for the other, something like this. So I can say whatever I want, just send an audio or something like this. I guess this is my opinion, but for me, this is not the right way to have a deeply conversation.
Yeah, that's right. But some people, they cannot control their impulsiveness and their feelings and being honest. Like some people would rather say I hate you using their phone, but
Yeah,
they couldn't say it face to face because it's hard. I
maybe
understand.
online. Oh, sorry. Maybe
Yeah,
online, do you have time? You have time to think more about the things. And in person, you cannot say without, you have to say without thinking too much. It's only yourself saying this,
yeah,
spilling the words, I guess.
that's right. You can organize each word that you're going to use to hurt the person or to make them feel better eventually.
Yes.
And when it's face to face, some people say, I hate you, and then you just start to cry. You can handle your emotion,
Yeah.
and that could go really hard. Are you like this, Isabel?
Yeah, I don't believe if I agree with the phrase, because I prefer talking person too, and mostly the topics that is related with, like discussing, or even a conversation that we like the topic and it's more like a debate, and it's funny to talk in person about this, so I prefer, if I needed to do that, have this conversation in person. And about online, discussing something like that, I believe that people have more facility to hide emotions in online, so probably they maybe think that, they could handle better with the situations, but in the same time they're hiding the truth about it, for example, or they lie about something. As you said, Victor, about I hate you, and it's very easily to write that in online, but probably that person is don't have too much courage. I don't know, or even this person have some problems, personal problems, and in long online world, he or she can hide that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Isabel. And now, what about you?
In my opinion, the in person is the best way to get this service. But when you think for other optic, in respect people live in remote location, the service online services a good thing to democratize this type of service.
Yeah, that's right. And some people work just writing things, and that doesn't mean they're not capable of talk. That's really interesting, Hannah. Thank you for your answer. Erika, finally you. I think
Yeah,
Erika isn't like this.
uh, I think this research could be doing Brazil. I don't know about the resource of this kind of research. Of course, when you talk in the virtual way, it's easier in comparison to face conversation. So you can think about more about what you should say, like Camila said, but at the same time, I think people are lying for themselves because I think I'm not able to solve completely uh, a situation without talking face to face. Because for me, it's important to read your body language, to see your face, look at your eyes. So I think it's a mistake. Like people are become so confusing because they think the virtual relationship is some kind like a real relationship, face to face relationship. It's not. And but I understand the research because it's easier when you can solve any kind of conflict when you are online, because here you can't talk at the same time because you can't understand each others. but I think it's about the feel of the people. The research said the feel of the people, and to talk online and to solve some kind of and to try to solve some kind of conflicts. But the research didn't say, but did you solve your conflict? You feel better, you feel comfortable, but did you solve your conflict? Yes or no? I think so hard. I think it's not possible from my point of view. But, but if you talk here and in online in virtual perspective, I don't know. Okay, you can solve, but only online, no. I think the good thing that pandemia bring to us, like Camila said, you can do therapy online. You can get the best therapists around the world, and you can take care your mental health if you are a professor, if in the online platform. But that's all. But I didn't understand this resource. It's so strange.
Yeah. Thank you, Erika. So guys, let's do a thing. Let's mix question number 8 and 9 and just do one answer because we just have 10 minutes and I want you guys to be able to answer as much as you can. So question number 8, what's your favorite non-digital activity to unwind and relax? And with question number 9, if technology is so obliquous yet problematic, what recommendations do you make for keeping it at a manageable level without getting so hooked? Question number 8 and 9. Starting by you, Hannah. This is a little bit personal, so I want to hear what do you guys do, what do you guys have to say to advise others.
In my free time, I like to play chess and read philosophy books. In respect 9, in respect 90 question, I don't know what I can answer you because I don't have any ideas about this.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about some strategy to avoid using the cell phone all the time. But when I wake up, what wakes me up is my smartphone. And when I go to sleep, what tells me the hour of going to sleep is my smartphone. But in some way, I think we could manage like the time of stop using it, setting a time, setting the apps that you're going to use after a certain time and after work, and maybe downloading an app to control the time that you pass using Instagram, using WhatsApp, using TikTok. I don't have TikTok. Thanks God I didn't download it. I'm not addicted to it, but I'm afraid to it. Actually, I'm afraid to get addicted to TikTok, but I should be there sometimes. And that's my advices. And my favorite non-digital activity is, I don't know. That's so sad. Actually, exercising my body. Yeah, that's a great answer. And walking, going to the supermarket, going to the pharmacy. I like doing this without my phone. And Isabel, what about you?
About me, the first question, my favorite non-digital is read books too. Nowadays I'm reading Hobbit, first time reading that. It's very good book actually, very good story. And about the next question, well, I don't do that, but it's a goal. No, actually, one activity I do, but the second not. Is trying to don't wake up without your cell phone and go to sleep without your cell phone. About wake up, I don't use. Actually, I just wake up and don't use my cell phone. But when I go to sleep, I have some video chat with my boyfriend. So it's difficult, don't use the cell phone because of that. But it's a goal, maybe in the future, don't do that anymore. Just don't use the cell phone when you go to sleep.
Yeah, perfect, Isabel. Erica, finally you.
Yes, my favorite activities is cooking, and I like to do manual jobs. Crochet, I don't know how I can say. I crochet, I don't know how can I say in English. And about the next question, I think you should define the time that you can use the smartphone. Like Isabel said, I wake up without the watching call me, and 3 hours before I go to bed, I turn off the cell phone. I think it's a good strategy to reduce your time online. How about you, Camila?
I guess my favorite non-digital could be read. And I don't know how about the movies, if I can answer that, but that's okay. I believe that no, okay. I guess read something or doing something about the creativity, that something to boost my activity, creativity, like board games or try to solve a puzzle, something like this, and or go to the gym sometimes. And a recommendation, I would like to say try to spend 1 hour without your cell phone, or maybe 30 minutes a day, just to feel what you, could you do in this free time, just to start, and then maybe decide to be more time without cell phone to handle how could you feel like this. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I do this in the bus. I mean, I take like 3 minutes, 30 minutes actually, or 1 hour per day. And then some days I say, oh, I'm not even listening to music. I'm just gonna look to the nature and breathe and look
Yeah.
to people with their faces like this because they're going to work and trying to imagine what it feels like. And I mean, that's what I do. Sometimes when I'm cleaning the house as well, it's a great thing that I like to do. But I need to put music and yes. I mean, it's not digital, but at the same time, it is. I don't know. And about reading, I read everything with this, like books,
Um,
for real, more than 100. So how could I do this without?
I use Kindle, so I don't know. This is acceptable. So
I think it is because it's more natural, the color, the pages, I
yeah.
mean, you can only read it, and yeah, I think it makes sense. So guys, we don't have time to keep answering the questions, unfortunately, because there are so many things that I would like to talk about with you. But I wanna listen to Hannah first, since it's his second time in here in TNT. I wanna know how was the conversation for you, Hannah? If you enjoyed it, if you in some way have learned something about this. Could you tell us, Hannah?
So I enjoy, yes. I believe uh, my ability is uh, unlocked because I can understand all things that you speak, but my velocity to think and answer is
Yeah, that's great, Hannah. And I mean, it just keeps getting better, and with time, you get used to it. And you did really great, actually, answering the things, bringing interesting answers and interesting topics like democratic use of the internet. I find it so interesting. And I'm actually thinking about making a second part of this based in this democratic the use of internet. That's really great. Thank you. And Isabel, for you too. Long time no see you.
Yeah, it's very good to meet you. I really like the conversation and the topic. Actually, it's a good topic to have a long conversation about that and discover some solutions for this problem. but I really appreciate it. It was very, very nice.
Yeah, and we have minutes. Erika, for you too. That's your second time with me. I hope you
Yeah,
correct in the
thanks so much,
other.
guys. It was a pleasure to be here with you all in this great conversation. I love this topic. So see you next time. Share your opinion, Camila.
I love this topic. It was awesome. I love to talk about this kind of solutions, and I decided to enjoy this immersion only because the topic was so interesting. Of course, I like Victor, but I always like to talk about this topic. So it was awesome. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, thank you, Camila, for coming. And here, guys, are the link for the feedback of this immersion, so you guys can write more topics that you would like to talk about in here. And I promise that I will read it and I'll try to put something in mind to bring something related to what you guys said. I've already got the thing about what Henan said, but I mean, I would like to receive your answers and to know what you guys enjoyed talking. I know Camila likes talking about technology and I mean this kind of issues that we have in society. But I mean, I'm open to more things. Okay, guys?
Okay.
So have a good night, all of you. Don't use your phone today anymore. Just leave it. Let's go to sleep. Let's go clean the house. Let's go do things. Isabel, you're not talking to your boyfriend today. Say
I will
that
try,
you
I will
are
try.
free. Just kidding, guys. But have a good night.
Thank
Bye
you very much,
bye.
guys. Bye
Bye
bye.
Thank
bye.
you.